Guys, how you doing? I know the videos are sporadic, but I have got one very important bit of information and a couple other updates that are worth talking about. The thing to talk about is that the Swirl tickets are now available. There are only 30 tickets available for only 2 main Swirl events, and that's in the middle Saturdays of November. On the 9th and 30th of November, we're having smaller gatherings, round tables, for new spaces where new Corco communities could begin swirling, and where there's existing communities to watch the film and to ask bigger, deeper questions about the nature of their community, of community where your life happens already. So there's only 60 Swirl tickets in total. They are £45 each. That includes food. It will include accommodation for the first few people that get their tickets and send a request. One of them is in Canterbury, one of them is in Bruges. I will put the videos in the description below where I've been to ELVIS KRESSE in Canterbury. Oh wow, flipping heck. I don't know if I'm in the right place, but this is bloody gorgeous. This is Kressy. You might remember, I'll put a clip in from before in Holland when we were last together doing some stuff. And what's the dog called?
Monty.
Monty, the velvet dog.
We are all trying to transition to the circular economy where all of our resources are used totally effectively in this perfect system. Is about as bling as our brand gets. We're quite subtle.
Is this the yellow hose?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We're an hour from London by train.
What a place. It's beautiful. And the TEN BERGHE castle in Bruges. Possibly one of the most incredible fireplaces I've ever seen.
With you every move you make.
If you look carefully, this is like a form of tapestry, but it's the whole wall.
It feels like we're on a ship, you know, because we can see the water everywhere. It feels like we're floating. I don't think I've ever been in a big building that's surrounded in water before.
These places have been recce'd, they're amazing spaces. You will learn a lot, get inspired, meet new people, have quite a special time. And last year was me just inviting people having no idea what they would encounter. This year we know the model was very special, there was nothing missing. It's all about, can this survive off its own back? And the reason the tickets are £45 is not because we think that's what it's worth, but that's just what it costs. If you divide the costs for the host, having us rabble there all weekend, buying the food, expenses, comes to about 1,500 quid, and if you divide that by 30, you end up getting £45 of tickets. So that's the price. So for me, this year's experiment is really about, can it be sustainable? Do people really want to get together in this basic friendship enough that we can pay for it? And then the global tables in Mexico and Melbourne and Rwanda and Dubai, these are all going to be places where we're stirring up a new community, new connections. Because it takes, of those 30 people, it takes about 10 at least within a swirl who really get it and already understand and share the values to pull off a good event. You can't just put 30 random people in a room to make it happen. And so you need a small core team, let's say, in any given space to be able to pull it off in a new space. So, if you're in a community that is interested in watching the film together, downloading it, paying what you want, and then getting around watching it and having dinner and asking questions about community together, then get in contact with Megan, who is running all the logistics, megan@corcovar.do. If you want to come to either Canterbury or Belgium or both, and a lot of us will be travelling between the two places, I'm going to be staying on the road, maybe visiting somewhere in France, maybe even going up to Ghent or somewhere else in Belgium. Please buy your tickets now. It really helps for us to know who's coming, where they're coming from, and make sure we can get you paired up so that lots of people can get lifts. It's all about the journey getting to these swirls as much as it is actually being in the events. I will be emceeing the day, and I will be doing a short talk before dinner each swirl, sharing a bit about the vision of where I see Corco. Andy Smitherman will be curating the morning session, sharing some updates from his storytelling and writing adventures, as well as pulling other people in to share and tell their stories to really get us thinking. In the afternoons, we'll be doing the creative workshop. ELVIS and KRESSE have an amazing workshop up their sleeves where we're going to make a tapestry made of old off-cut Burberry leather in Bruges at the castle. We will have Jenny Greenland with us, so I'm sure we'll be doing some painting workshops amongst other things. The structure is there. Who will be involved depends on who actually signs up and buys a ticket. I have bought my own tickets because no one is coming free this year. No one is going to be gifted. No matter what you're contributing, no matter what you're doing, you need to buy a ticket. There are a couple of tickets already gone. I already bought a couple of them. So I'm super excited to be getting on the road again. Daffy's have sent us a few bottles of gin to start off the Corco bar. We're trying to get some white wine from La Salle and some red wine from Friscano. I just recently got contacted from the Burning Barn rum guys in Solihull, so hopefully we'll get them involved as well. Get some sparkling wine from Whiston in. We'll have loads of musicians. We'll have great creative workshops, and most importantly, good friends and good friendships. Yeah, I want to show you a little clip from the last Sunday after the last Saturday of the Swirl last year in the woods, where we got together to try to scribble down what we think the 4 values of Corcovado are.
The first sign of life for me is diversity. I am moving to the log. Be gone with you, Cajon! So the next one, and this was never truer than yesterday, has been a story of dependence. What kind of relationships do we have, and are they healthy, and are they give and take? And the third thing that I think I look for, that I think really builds good friendships, is being able to just be together and to just accept and just be, stay quiet and not have to fill everything with some doing, some transaction. And then the fourth thing, which is kind of where we're at now, is about being open to emergence. An emergence is where you put some ingredients into a situation, they go through a process, and then what comes out the other side cannot be allocated to just one or two of the parties that came to the table, that something entirely new gets created. And fire is a very good example of that. Like, you put oxygen, you put material to burn, you put some heat in there, and at some point this completely emergent quality of fire just rises, and you can't attribute it. If you take one of those ingredients away, it does no longer exist. I think for me the opposite of being open to emergence as a group is, or in a friendship of any kind, is trying to control it and trying to be clear about exactly what outcome you're trying to achieve from the moment that you walk in the door, and then making sure that you get it, which is kind of how business works. And that's okay, there's place for that, that's fine. We can go and achieve things and get things done in the world, but there also needs to be a place for friendships.
And so that's what these events are in aid of. They are to get together to explore basic friendship, our core humanity of just being together and seeing what comes out of it, inspired by a diverse set of ingredients, being in wonderful nature in different locations, being hosted by different people, but also really letting each other in to share our stories and be honest and open with each other. It works. That's the thing. It works. It feels like we have just enough structure to keep the thing moving, but not too much that you're getting pushed from here to there and whatever. The reason we only have 30 people at an event is because that feels like the number where you don't need to go to the next level of structure, and everybody really gets to know each other and gets included, gets to be a part of something intimate and special. It's not about making profitable events, it's about building deeper connections in the network. And with that said, that leads me on to the second point, which is, if you remember the Around the Open Fire podcast, where we started with a few people who were in the core team doing it, we are now pleased to say we are opening it up to anybody in the network, anybody in the mighty network, anybody who watches these YouTube videos, anybody who thinks of themselves as part of the Corco crew. If you get together with at least one or two other people in the network, then get a mic, just record your conversation, ask each other about your backstories, talk about what it is that connected you and what Corcovado means to you, and think about what steps or what actions you're going to be taking next with your lives, and just let the conversation emerge from there. Let others get to know you. And that is what the podcast is going to be now. And just take an hour to record a conversation. It doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be clever. It's just a chance for us to get to know each other through the tool of the community podcast. If you're not sure what to do or you want more information, please email josh@corcovar.do. Otherwise, just make a recording and send it to Josh. He can tidy it up, top and tail it. And hopefully that will help us to continue to develop deeper connections within the network. Yes, the $100 giveaway. Now, I got sent about 15 different ideas on Instagram and on YouTube and on email. And it feels like the phase we're moving into with Corco is all about democratizing it, getting to a place where we can make direct decisions together wherever we are in the world. And so I'm not actually going to make the decision about where that $100 goes, but I'm including a link here to Slido where I've set up the 15 different ideas, and I'm going to ask you guys to vote for the one that you think, let's say, is bravest, giving of themselves creatively to the world. And the final thing I want to say is, if you've seen the 2 videos I made about carbon and then about trees, I'm going to be making another 1 or 2 of those. I was clearing out some old boxes because I'll be leaving this house soon. And I wanted to see how tall this... I know this tree is big now, but I wanted to see how big it was when I came here 12 years ago. And check out this photo. It was nothing but a little sapling. And this whole idea of carbon offsetting and planting trees has just been absolutely running away with my mind, and every conversation I have with people, it seems to move it forwards. I think it's going to be a really important part of the Corco fold as we go forward, and I'll look forward to explaining it more at the Swirl. But the Corco coin, backed by trees, I think is likely to be becoming real very, very soon. And there is something so amazing about the rate of tree growth, how solid they are, how infrastructural they seem, yet how quickly they really grow. And it's something quite... I think it's a real way for our generation to leave our mark on the world if we really get serious about valuing this living currency of trees and revaluing our woodland and carbon sequestration and our impact on the world. Oh, and I'm recording the first episode of the New Agreements podcast next Friday with Larry Sanger, the co-founder of Wikipedia. So all of that's happening on a personal level as well. I hope you guys tune in and enjoy that. I hope I will be seeing a bunch of you in November in Canterbury and in Bruges in Belgium in like 6 weeks' time. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be together. It's an incredibly inspiring time for me, and I hope it will be for you as well. The tickets for the Eventbrite are down below. Oh, a final thing to say is, if you are in a position where £45 just is not affordable for you, then please do email us. We don't want anybody falling away because they can't afford the ticket price. Equally, if you're absolutely minted and it wouldn't be much for you to stick an extra 20 quid in the pot so that somebody else could get a reduced price ticket, we'd also love to hear from you, because we just want to make sure that everyone who wants to be together can be together, and we're just being realistic about what it costs to do that. I will see you guys very, very soon. Please put some comments down below. Let me know what your feedback is about what I'm saying, and plenty more to come soon. Take care.